You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, my God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.
Hey, good morning, good day everybody, wherever you're tuning in from. My name is Mick McQuillan. And welcome to Joye and Mick Live. I'm Mick. Joey's not here. He's on an adventure. I hope he's doing well. And of course, look, this is Freedom, Health and Lifestyle. Personal development with a plan. No more complicated than that, right? Episode 107, How to Become a Millionaire, Earl Shoaff. Now, if you don't know who Earl Shoaff is, he is Jim Rohn's mentor. Right, and if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, go and check him out for yourself. But of course, look, I've got a short video. Probably not going to get through the whole thing, but yeah, you know, I think it'll be interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. And again, look, FHL is all about thinking better and doing better, being better. Well, we all want better, you know, we do for sure. But don't forget, like, subscribe, share, click that notification button. That way, you'll know when we're on. Usually around about the same time every week. And don't forget, you can catch Joey here on facebook.com/Joey.Unger. And you can find me here at the Real Mick McQuillan. Again, on Facebook. I'm not there that often. Joey's there all the time, but I'm not there that often. But look, so we're going to get straight into it with this video. And let me know any comments or questions that you've got in the chat or in the comments. And I'll try and answer any questions that you have. But anyway, look, it should just be it should be fun and interesting. And look, let's get straight into it. All right, hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, so if any ads pop up, we're just going to let them kind of play until we get to the skip, and then we'll skip it. But we might have a little chat along the way about it. If something interesting pops up. All right.
The Millionaire Maker, the second greatest story ever told, may well be the turning point in your life, regardless of your age. The voice you will hear on this recording is that of John Earl Shoaff.
Now, I should point out, right, that this was recorded maybe in the late 60s, maybe early 70s. So it might sound a little bit strange, but I think it's something that you're going to be interested in. All right.
One of the most creative and inspired men of our time. Born with a weak heart and of modest means, his formal schooling did not go beyond the 9th grade. During World War II, he was rejected by the military because of his heart condition. Yet he joined the American Field Services overseas, and as an ambulance driver and medical corpsman, was in constant combat duty for over 2 years. This caused irreparable damage to his heart, but it enkindled a determination to devote his remaining years to some service which would help man achieve greater fulfillment. Starting as a pants presser after the war, he became a millionaire in less than 4 years, and subsequently headed several large corporations with unprecedented success. He was intimately acquainted with the outstanding men of industry and government, but never wavered in his drive to awaken men and women of all ages to their true potential.
All right, give me a minute here. I think Joey's going to hop on. Let me see. I think, did I send him the link? I did. Right, I imagine he'll be here in a minute. Right, okay, there he is. Joey boy, how you doing?
Hi, Mike.
I thought you were still on maneuvers this week. Are you back?
No, just got back. Mike. Got back on Saturday, and then we still be around on Sunday just to return a few items and admin. Then finally got the free time to come back home. So
Good.
so good. It's so good. I tell my wife we were in some friend's house, and I look at the time. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I said maybe it was time to go, but because it might be Mike on the line soon. So glad that we came on time. And as I turn on my phone, I saw that you were live. So hey, I miss you. I miss your program, and I know what we do. It's helped me in my journey too. So I give you the credit for keep holding on the fork, and also keep adding value to the world. And thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Well, I think that's what we try and do, right? Try and bring value, leave people with an impression of increase. And I think that's what it's all about. And I think that this video that we're going to watch, this Millionaire Maker, you may have seen this before, Joey, the Earl Shoaff, he was the mentor of Jim Rome, so obviously he taught Jim Rome, or Jim Rome learned from Earl Shoaff. Obviously Jim has his own philosophy and way of talking about things and sharing things, but he learned it from this guy. So I think this is interesting for people to listen to. Probably won't get to all of it today, through all of it, but look, glad you're here, glad you could join, and looking forward to your final thoughts. Right, because we've missed them.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, brilliant.
He frequently toured the country, telling spellbound audiences that life never withholds anything from anyone. Love, health, supply, companionship, employment. All these exist in infinite abundance. We alone are the ones who prevent our own good from flowing, simply because we are not aware of nature's abundance and the tremendous power dormant in each of us, power which unfortunately remains untapped because we don't know how to release and set in motion the activities which sanction these laws. He felt one of life's great tragedies was man's persistence in clinging so tenaciously to lack and limitation. The true mark of greatness is not just in what a man accomplishes himself, but in his ability to help others help themselves and realize that they too can become great. John Earl Shoaff was such a man. But what is more, he had that rare ability of simplifying the laws of success and abundance to where even children understood and successfully applied them. Therein is the great value of this recording, and why it can be the turning point in your life. However, your life will not change overnight by just hearing it once. Listen to it twice a day, every morning and evening, as you go about your daily chores, and do what it says. And in 1 month, the most amazing things will begin happening to you and your family. Mr. Shoaff used to say, be naive enough to believe what I say for just 30 days, and you'll be on your way to a new life. That's why so many called him the millionaire maker. Recently, a prominent senator remarked, had I owned this record 10 years ago, I'd be in the White House today. In 1962, at the Essex House in New York City, Mr. Shoaff was the key speaker at a large gathering of successful independent distributors from all over the United States. As we listen, he has just been introduced by the Master of Ceremonies.
I just want to take a few moments and cover some things that have assisted me in acquiring things in my life. I know that you people are aware of these basic fundamental laws that operate in this world of ours. Some people are aware of them, some people are not aware of them, but they are using them. And sometimes we wonder why certain things happen to us, we acquire certain things, and then over a period of time it seems like we live in stagnation. Nothing happens, nothing takes place, everything seems to be at a standstill. But there are basic laws in this universe that we are governed by, and they work for you if you know how to apply them. And I would like to cover a couple of these laws just to assist you in knowing why these things happen. For an example, everybody is aware of the law of gravitation. Now, we do not know how it works, but we know it works. It works for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you are a saint or whether you are the opposite to a saint. If you jumped off a 20-story building and you are a saint and you land on a concrete sidewalk, you are going to be an unhealthy saint. If you happen to be a crook and you do the same thing happens to you. So basically, it doesn't matter whether you're good or bad. If you use the law of gravity wrong, you are going to suffer. The law of electricity works for all of us. If we use it properly, we can light our homes by screwing a light bulb into a socket. If we stick our finger into it, then we get bit. You get burned. You can burn your house down with electricity, or you can light your home with it. You can cook with it. You can use refrigeration. All the great things that electricity will do for us. You do not have to be an electrical-minded person. You don't have to be a genius to do it. A child 3 years old can push a button and turn the lights on. And whether the person was the greatest electronic engineer in the world, all he can do when he pushes that button is turn the lights on too. So basically it does not matter. The law of electricity will work for you. We have laws of success. We have laws of poverty. We have laws of lack, laws of prosperity. We have laws of hate. We have laws of love. We have laws of peace. All of these are basic laws. If we use them rightfully, wonderful things will happen to us. If we use them wrong, then we get ourselves in trouble. Now, one of the things that always has bothered me is in all the books that I've ever read on setting goals in life, positive thinking, positive goals that we want in life, and many of you people have probably read the similar books, we follow these different steps, rules, laws, exactly, and if we set 10 goals in life, we end up with 2. We lose out on 8. So it is not like the law of gravity, seemingly, because it doesn't work every time. And the only reason it does not work every time is because we do not use the right law. We are only using part of the law, and so the law of averages will give you a certain percentage of your goals. That is all. You say, gee, wasn't that great? This happened to me. But whatever happened to all the other goals you had in life? I'm going to lay down a simple, basic way, and you can have anything in this world you want to have, and you can be anything in this world you want to be, and it's a simple, basic situation. There's absolutely no problem to it. These are scientific things that work every time if you will do it in a simple way. Now, the first thing that we want to become aware of, that we're going to be like farmers. We're going to plant seeds. And these seeds that we plant are the seeds we're going to reap. Now, we are all aware that if you plant a seed, a tomato, you are not going to get cucumbers. You're going to get tomatoes. If you plant a watermelon seed, you're not going to get grapefruit. You're not going to get radishes. If you want radishes, folks, you must plant radishes. And when you plant a seed in the earth, you must plant it properly. And if you do not plant it properly, you will not have the harvest. Now, one of the major problems in our country today with the average person is they take the time and the effort to buy all the harvesting equipment, but they do not understand the planting and the cultivating. We want to reap harvest, but we do not want to take the time to plant. And we do not want to take the time to cultivate. Now, the planting of a seed in the earth is basically and absolutely the same process that you use in the mental world. We are born with a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. We are the only animal in the kingdom that has both a conscious and a subconscious mind. A mind to decide at any time in life where we want to go or what we want or what we don't want. We can decide with this conscious mind of ours at any moment whether we want to do a thing or we don't want to do it. We can decide what we want to eat or what we don't want to eat. We can decide what we want to drink or what we don't want to drink. We can decide what we want in life, in a home, in an automobile, in the clothes we wear, the stoves we buy, anything that we want in this world, any type of furniture, any type of a home, any type of anything, we decide at any time right here. Now, where most people are making a mistake is they set their goals down. They say, well, what is your goals? Write them down. So the fellow sits down, he says, I want a car, I want a house, I want some furniture, I want some new clothes, I want some money, and this is the way they set their goals. Now, folks, if we had a whole group of seeds, let's take apple seeds. We had 50 different types of apple seeds. And we just grabbed any one of them out and said, we want apples. We throw them in the ground, they come up and they say, gee, those are green apples. I wanted red ones. Well, that's because you just picked any type of an apple seed. You didn't describe it. So we must learn to define. Now, you've heard of the word of visualizing, that you have to learn to visualize things. And when you visualize something, this is the thing you're going to bring in your life if the visualization is strong enough. And we're always visualizing things in our life. But our tendency is to visualize negative situations. Now, the reason for visualizing negative situations is because, folks, let's not kid ourselves, we are living in a negative world. If I ask somebody, I says, by the way, Joe, how do you feel today? He says, good, fine. The next day I ask him how he feels, and he says, I feel terrible. I have had a pain in my stomach, and I have ache all over, and he goes into you think he was an actor. He can describe a negative situation in his body so wonderful, but when he feels good, he just says, fine. How come people, when they feel fine, they don't say, I feel great, I feel wonderful, I feel so great that I expect all the wonderful things in the world to happen to me today? In other words, have that little feeling when you talk about the good things in life. I say, how are you doing in business? The guy says, fine. Then if he has a bad day, I says, how you doing? He says, lousy. Oh, let me tell you, we're just having a terrible time. Did you read that article the other day? It took me several hours to find it, but it was on the back page down at the bottom in fine print, but I located it. People like negative things. They seem to vibrate with them for some strange reason. They don't want things that are negative in their life, but they keep insisting on talking about them. And they can paint the most beautiful picture of loss and lack. Immediately, I say, by the way, the internal, and everybody immediately starts shaking. Combustion. The guy says, you know what I thought you were going to say? And he starts creating pictures. He says, oh, by the way, I wonder about last year, what I did with that. I wonder if they'll find that. And immediately he said, I can see the guy come to the door now. I wonder when he'll be here. I wonder what he'll look like. And he gets a beautiful picture. And the next thing you know, the guy is knocking on his door. He created the picture and he brought it into his life. And the funny thing about creating things, folks, we are creators. Nothing comes to us. Everything comes through us, from us. Everything in this world that happens to us comes from here, not out here. And everything that you have in your life is exactly what you designed. The dress you're wearing, the coat you're wearing, the tie you're wearing, the necklace you're wearing, the stole you're wearing, the home you're living in, the neighbors you got, the friends you got, and the distributors you got. So don't blame me for people that you attracted. When you signed this person up, you're the guy that coaxed him in. And you didn't care who he was as long as he come in. And pretty soon you had 20 of them, and you says, you know what, Shoaff? I got a lousy bunch of distributors. Well, when you understand these laws, you won't tell me these things. Because you are basically saying, and I am not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I wouldn't dare. There's too many here. But what I am saying is that everything we attract is what we are. And what I am speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you say. And what you are speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you say. You see, everything that you have is the things that you've created. So be careful about what you create. Be careful. It's hard to visualize a thing. If I says, by the way, folks, let's visualize a 707, shall we? You guys say, well, what does a 707 look like? I have only been in there one a couple of times. I've seen one up in the air once. So it's hard to visualize one. You want to visualize an automobile or a stole or I don't know why I keep saying stoles. My wife must be thinking of a stole. I keep getting that feeling every time we come to New York. But you see, we have to learn to describe things. Now, I'm going to go through a description of a thing because this is very important in your lives, folks. Please listen and please try to remember what I'm saying. You can change your life that quick into everything wonderful. You can have everything wonderful happening to you if you use these basic, simple little things. Now, I'm going to describe a thing that, an automobile. I'll talk about an automobile because an automobile is easy to describe and people can comprehend it very quickly and very easily. And I'm not going to talk about a Chevrolet. I'm going to talk about a Cadillac. And every time I talk about a Cadillac, folks, I'm not describing the Cadillac per se. I'm talking about a Cadillac idea. The Cadillac idea in the clothing, in the homes, and the things that you really desire deep within you. And I'm not talking about something that you say, well, I got to have money to have a Cadillac. I'm not talking about money. It is not necessary that you have money to have a Cadillac. There's many wonderful things can happen to you where these things can come to you from very unusual sources. Many wonderful things can happen to you. If you believe in the thing that I'm talking about, and if you can do and go through the process I'm talking about, your incomes will be double, triple, quadruple. One of the things that I had the first thing, imagine a pants presser. The one thing that I had in my mind, I had defined in my mind, was a red Cadillac convertible. I never owned a Cadillac in my life. Now, you probably don't want a red Cadillac, but I wanted one. And I defined that thing right down to its socks, and the end result was I had me a red Cadillac convertible, and my income increased to a point where it cost me nothing. This is visualizing. This is a positive attitude towards the things you want. Too many people stop their dreams because they start thinking about the thing that is not necessary in order to have it. I say to somebody, do you want a new Cadillac? The guy says, I want one, but I can't afford it. I says, it has nothing to do with affording it this minute. I just want to know what you really want. Most people are afraid to define what they want in life. They're afraid to define it. They're afraid it's going to cost them something. But if you're making $1,000 a month right now, and you could double your income to $2,000 a month, you could have your Cadillac, you could have 2 Cadillacs, you could have 5 Cadillacs. So you don't have to worry about the income. I'm just talking about a principle now. Now, the Cadillac, what do you do about it? I'll say, Pete, what would you like to have? He says, a Cadillac. Now, don't forget, folks, I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to him. So he has nothing to worry about. No money, no nothing. So I says, Pete, what do you want? He says, a Cadillac. I says, fine, Pete. Now, this is where people make their mistakes. I says, I got a nice 1936 beat-up model downstairs. I'll give it to you. He says, I don't want a 36 model Cadillac. I says, you just told me you wanted a Cadillac. He says, I want a 62 Cadillac. I says, why didn't you tell me, Pete? Why didn't you tell me? This is the way people set their dreams. They just say, I want a Cadillac. You want an orange one or a green one? He says, I want a red one. Now he's starting to define. And you know, it's very difficult to define up here in your mind. The best thing to do is to get a piece of paper, folks, and start defining on a piece of paper. A 1962 Cadillac. A red Cadillac. Convertible. I'm just describing one car now. You can have any kind of car you want. A red Cadillac 1962 convertible with a white top. Red and white upholstering. A red floor rug. White wall tires. Electric windows. Air conditioning unit. The guy says, how much does that cost? I says, don't worry about it, you're going to get it for nothing. The guy says, I'll take it then. So now he says, I'm going to put everything down then, shouldn't I? And he says, that's right. Describe it right down the T. So he goes right through this Cadillac and he describes it, everything about this Cadillac that he wants. And when he gets all through, the perfect visualization is up here now. Because he has described it. When you write it, you start seeing it. Because he says, let's see now, a red Cadillac with a white top. What color bolstering? Now he says, let's see now, red, all red. No, I'd rather have red with a white in it. So he gets the picture up here by writing it down here. This is how you define things that you want in this world. So he gets it all defined. When he gets that Cadillac completely defined in his mind, he's got the seed. He hasn't planted it yet. He's got it picked out. Now, the important thing is that you must release that seed. You must release it, and it must be planted. And the finest thing in the world to plant that seed is to take on this piece of paper now and just write across that thank you. That's the law of acceptance. And you would be amazed how many people in this world can't accept their good. You would be shocked. Thank you means that I have accepted it. I'm going to have it. I know it's mine. And then you take and fold this piece of paper up with this goal on it, with this dream, your desire, and you put it away. Put it underneath a tablecloth someplace or put it in a drawer someplace. Don't carry it around and don't take it out and look at it anymore. When you do this, that is planting it in the subconscious mind. You've accepted it, it goes into the subconscious mind, and the thing starts to work. Now, the reason you put this away, the reason you put this seed away, after you have defined it and the seed has been planted in the subconscious mind, you put it away someplace, never to look at it again. And the reason for it is like planting the seed in the earth, folks. If you go and dig that seed up 2 or 3 times a day to look at it, nothing's going to happen. And if you've ever seen a lack of faith, it's the farmer who had the gullibility to go and dig a seed up to find out if it's growing yet. Now, there's real faith. He really believes in the laws of growth. And that's the same thing with us human beings. This is where we're making our mistakes. When we plant that seed in the subconscious mind, and it's there, the dream is there, the thing starts working towards you. The Cadillac starts to work towards you. Events starts taking place out here, and the first thing you know, it's getting closer and closer to you. Now, if we take it out and we look at it, the thing that happens is we say, I wonder where it's coming from. This is a true showing of lack of faith. I wonder when it's coming. I wonder how it's coming. And so you are putting doubt into the law, and it will not come, folks. It will not come to you. Now, What's going to happen, the seed that you planted in the subconscious mind, you'll be driving down the street, you'll be in a restaurant talking to a friend, and all of a sudden this red Cadillac convertible with a white top, and the whole thing will hit you right again, or you'll see your dream. It'll keep coming back. The reason this thing keeps coming back to you, this is the only way that the universal law has of talking to you. There's no voice. That's all in visualization. And when this dream comes up, what it really means is it is on its way to you. It is on its way to you. It's right around the corner. And so you do not, at that time, say how, when, or where. All you do is say, thank you, because you know it's on its way. And that immediately puts it back out of your mind. Now, how would you act if you really and truly wanted a red Cadillac convertible? If you really and truly wanted one, it was a strong desire in your life, and you knew it was on its way, how would you act? Man, you'd vibrate all over, wouldn't you? You'd feel terrific. You'd keep saying to yourself, man, it's almost here, it's almost here. You'd walk taller, you'd look taller, you'd be happier, you'd be more positive, you'd be more everything. And so you act different. You talk different. You even look like a prosperous person. You have things, wonderful things happening to you. Now, where does the positive attitude come in at? This automatically creates a positive attitude because it's a law of expectancy. Good things are going to happen. You have planted your seeds properly, and they are working themselves to you. And so you are automatically a positive person because all these wonderful things are going to happen. Now, don't just have one seed planted, folks. Plant many seeds. Any great desire you have in your life, for tangible objects or intangible objects. You can have anything in this world you want to have, and you can be anything in this world you want to be by using this simple process. And there's absolutely no way you can keep success from your door if you will follow these basic, simple little process that I've just described. This is the law of life. And every one of you people have worked this process. But maybe you weren't completely aware of how you worked it. But think of what that's why you only get 2 out of 8 things, or 3 out of 8, or 1 out of 8, or 1 out of 10. Because you didn't know exactly the process that you were using. Now you.
All right, Joe. So, basic fundamental laws. He's talking about planting the seed, planting it properly, cultivating it, visualize. Everything comes to us through us. Interesting. And describe it clearly, write it down, get the seed. This is an interesting thing, you know, like that is the getting the seed is creating the clear vision. That's getting the seed, then planting the seed, you know, saying thank you, the acceptance. The interesting thing about that is, you know, they talked about that Rhonda Byrne talked about that in The Secret, where it's like ordering from a catalog. You know, you order something from a catalog, you know it's on its way. You know it's on its way. You don't need to go reorder it. You know it's coming. Do you know what I mean? You know, the law of acceptance. You know, and then of course don't dig the seed up to check to see when it's coming. You know, check when it's growing. You know, and of course, so you've got the law of expectancy. So reminds me of what Bob Proctor talks about. You know, act, walk, talk like it's already there. You know, what are your thoughts? You're muted.
Rookie. I have to thank you for covering some of them because I think I kind of like sleepy, and not because of the program. I want to absorb as much as I can to the program. I think the body just get used to the. Yeah. Anyway, man, this. I want to ask you, where do you get this information from? So it's very, very good information. You know, talk about the farmer. We are the farmer. We plant the seed, and like you said, as they mentioned on this information, you know, some people plant the seed and they dig it up and have a look at it after a few days, but you need some time to give to the seed. You know, you need some time for the seed to be in the dark, let it grow out and start spraying out, get all the nutrition that it want, and maybe get used to the climatize itself, so it start to become live and shoot out what it need to be, because there's a lot of things in this audio that talk about it since, and writing your goals.
I've lost you there, Joe. I think you've got some bandwidth issues going on. You might need to go out and come back in. Are you back? I think so. Can you hear me? You hear me, Joey? Are you there? I can hear you. I can hear you moving around. Maybe I've gone. Have I gone?
Mike is still there?
Yeah, can you hear me, boy? Can you hear me, Joey, boy? I don't know what's going on. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let me see. Did that make any difference? You might need to go and come back.
Yeah, that's better now.
Okay. Oh, you're back. All right, good. Yeah, so I lost you there for a second.
That's
Well, you were saying...
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of things here that we can go back to, in our journey from episode 1 to 104, 107 now. That we talk about it, mention about it, and it's funny because we heard it from Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, but then we realized that none of them come up with that idea. That idea was passed forward, paid forward from generation to generation. Even some of the top personal development in the world, they all refer to the Bible as a book of wisdom. It's a story there that pass it on. I was reading a book when I was away called "The Greatest Salesman in the World" by Og Mandino.
Yeah.
And I was amazed how this story, helping salespeople and people like us, because we're selling everything every day. The way we conversation and the way we talk about, what we do in life or what food we eat and what sort of car we're driving, and I had the same thing tonight, and it's funny how a lot of things all become collaborate in a lot of ways. For example, we are all born with a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. A mind that we can make a decision, that which is our subconscious mind, and we know that Bob talk about it. The stick man, the way the mind is, which is not the physical thing that we think about it, is the brain and the thing, because that brain is part of the body, but it's activity that happen around our head. That's the mind. This is the activity, not the physical thing that we want to visualize or see about it. But man, there's a lot of good things there. I feel bad that I kind of like my body can start to shut down, but I write down, like visualizing. We can visualize negative situation or positive situation. And I had that. When I was away, I spoke to a lot of my colleague or soldiers, and I can hear that. I can hear the way they talk. Some of them talk about negative stuff, situation. All their focus is focused on negative. And I can see the fruits, the way they act, because that's the way they're thinking. It's too hot here. We don't have enough food or enough water. But every time I talk to people, I stay on positive, because I know if I stay positive, it's not only uplifting me, but uplifting the other people around me. So I tell them I really enjoy my time here because of the weather. It's so warm compared to where we came from Sydney. It's so cold over there, but over there it's so warm and nice. We have the sunshine. We see the sun rise and sun go down, and spectacular, dry, no raining, just perfect, and I said, I know it won't last. That's why I enjoyed. So, but for some people, because they haven't grown, they haven't worked on themselves, all they see is the negative. All they see is the things that, the things that it's out of their comfort zone. So, and I realize that's why they don't enjoy the journey. That's why they don't enjoy the exercise or doing activity in a different environment, because all their focus was focused on the negative. But for me, I really enjoy it, and and like they said, when you ask someone, some people said, "Oh, it's okay, can't complain." When they asked me, I said, "I'm great." I'm very blessed to be in this environment, to be with you. And people kind of like I said to me, we found it's a really, really joy to be around you, because you're different. Your energy, we can feel your energy. We came from another group, or doing some other exercise. As soon we come to where you work, we see you, just get up, pick up the rubbish, clean up the, helping other mates, and we watch you, and we see different energy in you. We see different kind of personality or identity in you, because we most of them, they thought, when we come to island people, we just kind of hesitate to talk to them, because we feel like they are imitating people because of their size, their look. But we found it's totally different with what we expect from people like you, because we bring different image to us. I share this because we've been working on it. You and myself, that's why we're doing this program. Not only that we want to help people, but we help ourselves first. And I think that's why, everywhere we go, we attract the right people. And I like what he said there, and I wrote it down. Don't blame me for the people you will attract, because you will attract the people that you create yourself with. Because if you and the way you're thinking, and if you think negativity, don't be surprised that negativity people will show up in your life. If you think about gossip and blah blah blah, don't be surprised that those things will show up. People will show up negativity in your life. So, I'm so grateful that I'm on the journey together with you, my friend Mike. That the information that you brought, and I, maybe we share together. It's so amazing, and I love this. I can put it this way.
You said something really interesting. You mentioned fruits of your labor. And mostly when you think of that, you think of just working hard, to get the fruits of your labor. Do you know what I mean? But it starts with how you think. It starts with those seeds that you plant in your mind, whether they're good thoughts or bad thoughts. Exactly what you're describing. You're in an environment, like it would have been very easy for you to be in that environment just to go along with how everybody else is thinking or feeling, but no, you have to be the change, don't you? You have to make the decision. And that's what he's talking about. No one can tell you how to think or how to feel. You decide, but if you're weak-minded, you might not have the internal power to be able to make that decision, because everybody else is being negative. You might think, well, I just have to be negative with everybody else and just agree with them. And before you know it, you're filled with fear about everything, instead of possibilities about how things can get done and how you can get through and how you can get stronger and how you can get better and how you can be better. So when you're thinking about these fruits of your labor in your mind, planting these seeds in your mind, you do then technically reap what you sow.
Yeah.
because, but it's like you say, and this is your thing, right? It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. So it's about having those positive thoughts, having those, planting those seeds of positivity and acting that way, thinking that way, catching yourself on, copying yourself on when, you're in a tough situation and it's easy to quit. It's easy to walk away or turn your back on it than to do the hard thing, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, Joey, but I don't think that everybody's awake to it. Some people aren't awake to it. They're just drifting through life. They're in their boat, going through life, and they're just rudderless, and they're just bouncing off other boats, or they're going over to where the other boats are. And the other boats, they're negative people. You don't want to be there. It's the other group over here you want to be with, who've got the big boat, and and it's like that, isn't it? You don't tend to go to where you tend to go to what not to what you want, because this is familiar to you. So it's easy to go and mix in there and be around that because you can get along around there. We all think the same over here, but to go over here where it's like new, and I don't understand all of this, because some of this stuff, as simple as it is, and he does have a very good way of being able to explain it in a very simple way. But some of it almost seems contradictory to some of the other stuff that you learn. Even in Think and Grow Rich, it talks about reading this statement day and night, day and night, day and night. Even at the beginning of this this video here, the commentator or the narrator at the beginning was saying, listen to it twice a day, morning and evening, morning and evening. Now that's not digging up the seed. Listening to this morning and evening, repeating that chief aim statement, as described in Think and Grow Rich, is that digging up the seed, or is that immersing the seed in the soil? Is that planting the seed in the soil? I think that's planting the seed. That's not digging it up. And then you've got that law of, acceptance, saying thank you, and Think and Grow Rich, he did say that after about 30 days, he started to believe, that yes, he could do it. And of course he did go on and do it, by helping millions and millions of people, change their lives. So this stuff is challenging, Joe. It's challenging to understand. Do you know what I mean? But the key is you've got to put it into practice. You've got to get the seed. What does he mean by that? Write down your goal, describe it, define it in detail. Not just one, you can have 10 seeds. One might be about relationships, one might be about, money, one might be about, a job, one might be about family, whatever it is, I don't know. So you can have more than one seed, and then you've got to plant that seed, and then you've got to say thank you. You've got to say thank you. And it's like ordering that thing from the catalog. You go on, you want a new pair of trainers or runners, go to the catalog, you order them, you go on the internet, you order them, and then you pay for them, and they're on their way. You don't need to go and reorder them. They're on their way. So it's challenging. It's challenging. Joe, I'm going to get your final thoughts. And don't forget, hold on a second. Where am I? Don't forget, find Joey here on facebook.com, joey.onga. Joey does loads of content, so go and check him out, follow him. Good friend of mine. And hopefully we're going to be doing some more business together. You can find me here at The Real Mick McQuillan. And again, look, just come on, check us out, see what's going on, and see how maybe we can help each other do something even better, do something bigger than what we're already doing. But yeah, there's no doubt what you were saying, Joe, makes a lot of sense to me, how this information has been passed forward and passed forward and passed forward and passed forward. And I suppose we have that opportunity now to pass it forward, to pass it on to other people. What they do with it is up to them. We can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do. That's what Earl Shoaff was talking about when he's saying, you've got this team of 20 people, they're just not the right 20 people. Well, you attracted them, not me. So, and this is what it's about. It's about attracting the right people that you want to work with, to do something that you want to do. Just that. He also talked about, people being scared, to define their goals. That's, it's challenging, isn't it? You know, it is. It's challenging for people, Joe. All right, listen, let me get your final thoughts. Hold on, before I do this, I just want to... So we've got this here. Hold on. Let me see. Yes, okay. So, Joey's final thoughts, Freedom, Health and Lifestyle, episode 107, How to Become a Millionaire, Earl Shoaff. Take it away, Joey.
Mike, I just want to start with to say thank you to you. And I say that because I want to start with my gratitude. I want to say thank you for being on the journey together, you know, since from day one. And even though I've been away with a lot of commitments, and you still carry on planting the seed. And what we were talking about tonight, Shoaff talk about tonight. And for those of you that watching this program late, you know, Shoaff is the mentor of Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn was one of the people that inspire and work with Bob Proctor, which is Bob Proctor is one of our mentor and teacher, and we are here are some of us as a student that we want to keep planting the seed. You know, I learn in my life now, wherever I go, is to make sure that I say thank you to each and every one that I come in contact with. I think that's how I live an impression of increase. Is not only through the way I think, the way I feel, the way I work or take action or apply what I know and feel about it, but also I want to say thank you. Not only that I thank you to other people, but I thank you for my creator, for creating me and Mike to be part of this world. I remember when I was involved with the church a lot, growing up in the Sunday school, there's a memory verse that said that God has a plan for you. Whether you listen to this or watching this, God has a plan for you, and his plan is always abundance. And his plan for you is to have more and have abundance in life. You know, and my journey just go through a lot of challenges, you know, go from different places to different country. Even I decided to become an immigrant, which I decided to live my comfortable lifestyle in the island, climbing coconut tree, sipping coconut juice in the beach, and go fishing and go to the garden, you know, live the dream there, not thinking about financially. But then I make a bold decision to move, to leave Tonga so that I can move to Australia. And it's about 22 years now. Looking back, I have decided to create my own journey, and I think some of my if you check it out, my posts and my social media, some of my posts I reflect on my journey, and part of my reflection is to say gratitude to the world, gratitude to my creator, my God, my family, my parents, even though they passed now, God bless them, even my past teachers and mentors, and even my good friend here, Mike. And I don't say that lightly, that I acknowledge he's part of my journey, because where I am today, it's because of those information that we learn together, we share together, and we want to pay it forward by keep planting the seed no matter what. And I know, even though I'm away on another commitment with my work or my professional, but everywhere I go, those information or those seed that we planting every single day and every week, even more than a years now, it's all come to fruitful. The way I speak to people, the way I help people, the way I treat people, I created that. You know, before, you know, I grew up in an environment of faith, and we believe that we were created in the image of God, and no one is can do that. But then as I learned, and I was in a journey together with Mike, realizing our self-worth, that we are part of God co-creator. We were put here in this world to create something big, not only for ourselves, but for other people that you surround yourself with, other people that come in contact with you. And that's why every time me and myself and Mike we're in an environment, we try to leave an impression of increase, whether to make something, someone look up a little bit better, or inspire them to go out and do some action or do some work towards their goals. And those information that we listen to tonight, you are who you created. And it's so true, because what you think about it all day long, it's what you become, and you reflect in your gen, in your experience, and also the fruit of your labor. What you plant, and the Bible is so correct on that. What you plant, it's what you're gonna reap. Don't expect to plant watermelon, and expect to reap cucumber. It's what you put into the soil, which is in metaphor to our mind. That's our mind, the activity. Whatever you think about it, be careful about it, because whatever you plant into your mind, it will connect with your heart, which is your feeling. And when it's connect with your feeling, that's why a lot of people talk, act, and also get what the result is. And if you think about a failure, if you think about poor, and if you think about lacking all day long, don't be surprised that's what you're going to reap, because you're going to be feared. You're going to be avoid taking action because of what you think about it, what you think about what other people think about you. I was on a convoy on one of our training in the middle of the night, and I was so grateful. I said to myself, I'm so blessed that I came from a small island in the kingdom of Tonga. Only I know was a climbing coconut tree. But here I am, part of the military, and we were, travel from one place to one place in the middle of the night, and I see the star, and I look up the star in the sky. It reminds me how lucky I am, how blessed I am to come a long way to where I am now. And we were all born with two minds. One is the conscious mind. Second one is the subconscious mind. One is help you to make decision, which is a conscious mind, because you have some antenna there to collect a lot of data, and it's up to you to filter that and make a certain decision to get you to where your goal is. And your subconscious mind is when you start to hone in your thinking and say, this is what I really want to become. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to build a business. I want to become an investor. And when you hone into it and you work on yourself and your growth or personal development, and then you realize you're not only doing for yourself, but you can help other people to do the same thing. And when you help other people get what they want in life, that's the biggest reward you can get, because you will get what you want in life if you help enough people. And this is why we're doing this with Mike, because we realize and understand the more we help people, whether through this platform or through our business and our professional, we will get what we want, because it won't, and we understand the concept of timing. It's not going to happen overnight, because we are farmer, we are teacher, we are planting the seed, we are educating people to a point they understand. And it's not for everyone, and it's totally happened in the Bible. A master give some of the seven a seed. One was one seed. I think other were 2 seed, and one was maybe 50 seed. And the people who have the 1 seed, they went and buried them. And other people who went and didn't do anything about the other one. But some of them, they went and do the work, share with other people, helping other people understand. I was given this gift, and now it's my turn to pay it forward to the world. And when they do it, the story ends with the result was not only they have a few, but it was multiplied into hundreds and thousands, and even it's multiplied the outcome more than what they have. And the moral of the story, some people will have less in life, and because they didn't do anything about it, that thing that was given to them, it will be taken away. But the people who have more in life and they decided, okay, I am so grateful that I've been blessed with this gift, I will share with the world. And there are the people who look back when they die and realize how many lives they impact in this world, because they didn't hold on to it. They don't go and hide it or their gift, their talent, but they went and spread the word. They went and share with others. They went and paid for it. And if you listen to this, either you listen in the middle of the night or during the day or having your lunch, this information is for everyone, and it's for everyone to take part of that, because we are born rich, we were born abundance and prosperity, and it's totally up to you to make a decision, and that decision will change the trajectory of your life. And myself and Mike, we're doing that. And our topic for tonight is how to become a millionaire. And it's like I say this cleanse the save or something like that, or we'll try to impress you, but we're not trying to impress you. We try to impress upon you, because millionaire, I think myself and Mike, we are proudly declare that we are part of that club, and we and it doesn't happen overnight for us. It was take time, take grinding, and a lot of learning about ourselves to become who we really want to become, because we are not only doing for ourselves, but we also know there's other people in the world want some information, want some help, and want to be better in life. And if we hear this, let me finish with this. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for my good friend Mike McLean, for always be on forward. I'll always be on the line every single week, holding the fork and doing this thing, because it's inspired me everywhere I go to share what we do with you guys. And Mike, I just want to bring you back here. I don't want you to hide back in the garden, because we are on the journey together, and I'm so grateful for a person like you as a good friend. I think we were meant to know each other. We come together as a partner and a colleague and a good friend. And I have no doubt it was meant to be that we can know each other and doing this journey together. So I'm looking forward for more episode. Keep planting the seed and helping more people in the world, and leave a legacy that lasts forever.
Joey, you're making a lot of sense. And I was just taking down some notes when you were talking there, because you were really, for me, what I was hearing was you were talking about the competitive or the creative thought process compared to the competitive thought process. Like when I'm competitive, and I am a competitive person, right? I am. But I find myself that when I'm being competitive, really it becomes about me. It becomes about me winning, me achieving something. But when I then think of it, when I pull myself back into the creative thought process, it's still about, me achieving something, but it's about me achieving something with other people, because you can't do it by yourself, Joe. You've got to be part of something else. Yes, you can have an idea, but even that idea alone is not going to be just you and that idea. You're going to need people. So it has to be, creative. It has to be, wrapped in this emotion, And then you were talking about gratitude, and that's the acceptance part of it, being grateful. And it's almost about being grateful for something that you haven't got yet. You're remembering a future event as if it's true, and being grateful for achieving that and doing that, and visualizing, that event with all of those people there, celebrating it, celebrating you, celebrating, the extraordinary achievement that people have been able to do. So, Joey, listen, you know, I think we've already woken that dormant power in you for sure. Do you know what I mean? You know, but there's other people out there. They've got this power inside them that they don't know that they have. You know, they think that, you know, they can't do these things, and the truth is they can. They just need to take one step. One step. It's just a little step. You know, and then, like you say, you know, you don't drive from New York to California, you know, in one go. You know, it takes some time. Do you know what I mean? Before you get there. So listen, Joey, amazing. My name is Mick McQuillan. You've been watching Joey and Mike, Freedom, Health and Lifestyle, episode 107, How to Become a Millionaire, Earl Shoaff. Now there is a second half to this. We might watch it next week because the second half, it just gets better. Do you know what I mean? So look, we'll see you next week, and we're going to play out with, this has got to be my favorite video, you know, like that's got everything in it. It was on at the beginning. I'm going to play it now and again at the end. It just has everything in it. That, for me, it does, you know? So, right, guys, see you next week. See you, Joey. I'll see you on the other side.
You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Now, do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, my God, I'm going to change something. Now we say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind wakened the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.